After massive military drills, Xi Jinping appears to be laying a new strategic trap to outsmart the United States and its Pacific allies. After the Iran conflict, America's next major naval challenge could be China's rapidly expanding military footprint across the Pacific Ocean. Xi Jinping's growing fleet of aircraft carriers could dramatically tip the balance of power in China's favor during any future regional conflict. The waters surrounding the Philippines are increasingly emerging as a potential battlefield if tensions between China and Taiwan erupt into open conflict. China could reportedly deploy its aircraft carriers east of Taiwan in a bid to deter any direct military intervention by the United States. Military experts believe Beijing's strategy would be to intercept approaching naval forces before they can reach the strategically vital Taiwan Strait. According to SCMP, the Philippine Sea could become a crucial operating area for China's carrier strike groups during any future conflict. Decoding China's Philippine Sea strategy. Block U.S. reinforcement forces before they can enter the Western Pacific battlespace. Establish operational control over key stretches of the strategically important Philippine Sea. Create a wider maritime buffer zone to keep potential adversaries farther from China's coastline. Project Chinese military power well beyond Taiwan into the broader Indo-Pacific region. One defense expert argued that China's aircraft carriers are intended to coordinate joint operations rather than directly spearhead attacks against Taiwan. Director, U.S. Air Force's China Aerospace Studies Institute said, and I quote, "I do not regard carriers as the PLA Navy's primary weapons against Taiwan. The most common error is to assume that, because Beijing is acquiring ships that resemble American carrier strike groups, it must intend to use them according to the American operational model. China already possessed ample land-based aircraft, missiles, surface ships and submarines for operations near its coastline, making carriers less important as strike platforms than as part of a broader maritime joint fire system linking warships, submarines, bombers and missiles." China's new Type-003 Fujian aircraft carrier is expected to significantly extend Beijing's naval reach deeper into the Pacific Ocean. The Fujian's advanced electromagnetic catapult system can launch heavier aircraft, enabling longer-range surveillance and more complex combat missions. Once fully operational, China's Fujian carrier could even project sustained military presence into the Philippine Sea, according to SCMP. Military experts say future PLA carrier groups are expected to operate behind multiple protective layers of escort warships, submarines, and air power. The reported strategy comes as China continues expanding combat patrols amid rising military tensions with the Philippines in the South China Sea. Chinese forces say they activated full combat readiness on July 30th after spotting a Philippine aircraft near the shoal during their latest patrols. The PLA reported that the aircraft was detected while its units were carrying out readiness patrols around the contested Scarborough Shoal area. Scarborough Shoal remains claimed by both China and the Philippines, making every patrol and overflight a new flashpoint in the wider South China Sea dispute. China's Southern Theater Command deployed both naval vessels and air units around the disputed reef, signaling a joint air-sea posture rather than a simple patrol. During the latest mission, China deployed its new Type-054B frigate Qinju, using the modern warship as the centerpiece of the patrol force around the shoal. The PLA also used the JL-10 jet during a readiness patrol here for the first time, marking the aircraft's debut in frontline air-sea operations over Scarborough Shoal. The JL-10 is an advanced trainer aircraft, but it also carries a secondary combat role, allowing it to switch quickly from instruction to operational missions. It can perform both patrol and ground attack missions, giving commanders a flexible platform that can surveil, warn and strike if required. Analysts say it is better suited for dealing with slower surveillance or government aircraft, which often cruise well below typical fighter speeds. The jet's strong low-speed handling makes it ideal for interception duties, letting it escort or push back propeller-driven planes without overshooting them. As a trainer, the JL-10 can operate from a wider range of airfields, helping China project air control from more bases across distant maritime areas. Overall, the aircraft is being used to strengthen China's distant maritime patrols, tightening air management and control over far-flung sea zones. At the same time, the Chinese Coast Guard carried out law enforcement patrols around the shoal, reinforcing the military presence with police-style actions at sea. China said multiple Philippine vessels were spotted, warned, and ordered to leave, with Coast Guard ships using loudspeakers and maneuvers to push them out. This latest confrontation comes on the heels of massive drills held by the US and its Asian allies, turning the shoal into a stage for competing power shows. Amid rising tensions between China and Taiwan, the United States and its Asian allies have just wrapped up a massive set of joint drills in the South China Sea, underscoring their shared concerns about Beijing's behavior. The US, Japan, and the Philippines ended a major 5-day maritime exercise on July 25th, after operating together at sea from July 21st to 25th. These drills brought together warships, Coast Guard vessels, fighter jets, and surveillance aircraft, forming a multi-layered joint force across the contested waters. The Philippine military said the exercises were focused on improving allied interoperability, ensuring the three forces can operate seamlessly in any future crisis. The drills mark the latest expansion of trilateral security cooperation in the region, part of a broader pattern of increasingly frequent and complex joint activities.
We extend our sincere appreciation for the successful conduct of today's 17th Multilateral Mutual Cooperative Activity. Your teamwork, precision, and cooperation greatly contributed to the success of our engagement. It was an honor to train alongside you. We look forward to more opportunities to sail and train together as nations striving for the rule of law and freedom of navigation. We hope you enjoyed your stay in the Philippines. Until we meet again, fair winds and following seas. Onwards!
These exercises are just the latest in a growing series of trilateral security drills, each one expanding in scale and ambition as tensions with China climb. Manila, backed firmly by Washington and Tokyo, is using these drills to counter China's sweeping maritime claims and reinforce its own position in the West Philippine Sea. The Philippine military deliberately did not disclose the exact location of the exercises, a move likely intended to avoid giving Beijing a specific point to contest. Interestingly, Chinese Navy and Coast Guard ships have shadowed similar drills in the past, monitoring Allied movements and often criticizing the exercises as destabilizing. During these very drills, Manila accused China of firing powerful water cannons at its government ships on two separate occasions, bringing the confrontation uncomfortably close to the joint exercise area. The Philippine Coast Guard said the incidents occurred on July 23rd and 24th, in the middle of the 5-day drills. These confrontations took place near the disputed Scarborough Shoal in the South China Sea, one of the most contentious flashpoints between Manila and Beijing. Beijing responded by saying it had taken legal measures after Philippine vessels allegedly insisted on intruding into waters China claims, defending the water cannon use as lawful and beyond reproach.